everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Space Engineers. So, well, it's obvious what we're gonna do. We're gonna get this mining ship going. We're gonna get this working. First of all, let's turn the dampeners off on this, because that's why the tanks aren't filling. And yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. There we go. We're getting fuel now. So, I want to get the survival kit fixed, and to do that, I want to get a refinery. So, what I want to focus on is building this base up, because the last three thumbnails of this video, the last three thumbnails have been this base. I cannot speak for some reason. And it's like, it hasn't changed that much. And I think it's time that we really put some effort into this. But we need to be careful, because those absurd bases could become a problem. So we need to put effort into not just production, but also defending this. And I think one of the first things we need to do is get a refinery on here, because it's kind of becoming a problem that we can't refine silver and whatever. Then I want to get some better assemblers and stuff. It might be wise to start working on the underground base at some point. But yeah, we have the resources to do it. There's nothing stopping us from doing it, other than me just being lazy. So we'll get rid of the connector, and let's get that refinery on there straight away. Now, do we want the industrial refinery? Let's get rid of the turret. We don't need it at the moment. And I think we'll put another cargo container there. I mean, we are getting rid of our only defense, but I think it'll be fine. Yeah, so we have a connection point there. We can place a refinery there. We can put modules on the back. And then I think it has, one of these has the connection on the top. Where is it? Top left here. We will put the turret there. And that's probably one of the, but the turret won't work until we get the refinery. So let's get that turret built first thing. Because we want to get this built. Here we go. Now, we're going to need to go mining. This is where it would be great if we had the mining ship. I don't know why I'm flying so much. Considering that we don't have a survival kit, that's probably not the smartest idea. How much hydrogen does this thing actually have? Okay, this has 29%. I want to see about actually how well this thing flies, if at all. Oh, the tanks are on stockpile. Okay, this thing flies around pretty well. Actually, you know what? The first thing, it just doesn't have much hydrogen storage. So that's what we're going to need to do. What I'm going to do, first thing, is get this on here, though. So that we can use this tank on there rather than anything else. There we go. This thing's getting filled up nice and quickly now. Much better. So we can now, now this thing is getting filled up properly. For some reason that thruster isn't on. Oh, because I placed these here, but I never actually put the connectors on them. I mean the conveyors. I never set the conveyors up right. How are we doing on the refinery? A little bit more work. So, but yeah, we're going to need a lot more tanks on here. So, I'm thinking that we could probably fill this top section up with tanks. We have a bunch of tanks running down the side here. Small hydrogen tank. So we can easily double the amount of tanks that are on here by running tanks like this and then changing these thrusters. I think that's what we'll do, because we need more tanks, because this thing can't last 5 seconds. We're going to need a lot more, though, than what we have. Probably quadruple the amount. Triple at the minimum, so than what we've got. So we probably can put a tanks there and tanks there, then tank running along the sides on there, and then that will double the amount of stuff that we have. No, triple the amount of tanks we have. So let's go and mine some more iron, and we'll get that done straight away. Effie. We don't have a connector on here anymore. I think what we'll do is we'll put a connector here. I haven't seen combat phase in a while, which kind of concerns me. Actually, I don't know if it's been active the whole time or inactive. I think it's inactive. But either way, that's either way it's concerning. There's gonna be no iron left in here by the time we get that mining ship. And yeah, I really can't wait for that mining ship. I'm gonna move this forward. But yeah. Being able to not have to go back and forth and back and forth every single time I fill out my inventory. I probably could put like the hydrogen tank or something like that. Or something else away. Like the gun maybe. I could probably also get more bang for my buck if I didn't pick up the stone. That's another thing we actually need to put on the miner is a thing to remove the stone, a stone ejector. My first miners, I usually don't put that in, and then I put it on my next miner, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Wow. Such a big difference. Like, it really makes such a big difference. By the way, if you wonder, I don't know why I have so many conversations, talk about so many things when I'm mining. I guess it's just time that you don't really do anything in. But if you're wondering why I'm making so many SE videos, it's just because I'm enjoying the game. That's literally the answer. It's also because I'm watching a lot of SE videos, and so that's like gives me motivation to play the game. That's where I get all my motivation from, really, is just watching YouTube videos. I mean, it's why I became a YouTuber. It's from watching YouTube videos. In fact, YouTube has probably shaped a lot of my life, which is both concerning and interesting. Oh, the car is completely full, and so is my inventory. This is the most amount of iron I've ever collected in one trip. I probably need to go slower, actually. I don't have a speed limit, so if I come crashing into literally anything in the way at, 45 meters a second with this much mass, oh boy, that's scary. This thing has so much mass behind it. Wow. Right, so I need to get the iron out of here. Well, actually, I'm 90% sure there's probably iron in here. Yeah, it's just being slow to process it. Man, there were so many steel plates in that refinery that was lost. It's just sad. Oh, that was sketchy. Oh. Of course I did that. I remember what the crew bots do. They make the machine more efficient. Like if I put them on the assembler will go faster. I mean, this mining ship's gonna be the most fragile thing alive, with explosives surrounding it, like having an armor made out of bombs, basically. But I mean, that's not really the point of it. Is to be defensive. The point of it is to be a miner. There we go. Industrial refinery is done. We don't need all those steel plates. I don't know what's going on there, but look at that. So we now have an industrial refinery. So you can see our basic refinery is doing some refining, and our industrial refinery is doing some refining. Doing some refining. So overall, we're doing pretty well. I mean, we probably want to put another assembler there and a cargo container there. In fact, that's probably what I'll do right now. But yeah, and then we can speed up the refinery, add yield modules, whatever we need to do. But this is already probably faster than we had before. There we go. So we now have a survivor kit, so we can get all of our stats back up. Yeah, we'll have weather. Ta-da, weather. Your weather forecast is that you will perish soon. So the only problem is because we don't have an oxygen tank, all of our ice turned into hydrogen. Which means that we don't have any more oxygen. That's why you should always have, if you have a hydrogen tank, you should also have an oxygen tank so you can store the oxygen when you turn all your ice into hydrogen, because it doesn't consume any more ice. So yeah. But yeah, we can go and navigate around in here, and then, so in the future we might do some other stuff. I'm thinking we'll have a couple industrial assemblers coming off this. I think that would be smart, having an assembler or two coming out. I mean, the best way to have it would be to have the graded catwalks, but I don't have the graded catwalks. I don't have the DLC for that. I have the ugly catwalks. I like these ones more, so I need to get some of the DLC. But yeah, if this is this would be a nice little thing to walk along, and then you put the assemblers running along there. If we don't put modules on top, then they can do that. But yeah, I think we'll get another assembler on this where this refinery is. So where's that? Yeah, that refinery. Let's take all of that out. It's really faster. Okay, no, this thing's definitely faster at processing because it just processed all the iron. So I think that thing's definitely faster. Anyway, we get rid of the basic refinery. Plop. And we can put a assembler and a cargo container. So we can actually make some real progress. I mean, it won't look that different, but it'll definitely feel a lot different. Hopefully. It'll be faster and it'll allow us to actually make progress at a decent pace. So now we'll put all of that into production, and that will spend a while doing that. And then we'll have to do some assembler stuff to make that, to make this and that work in unison, which won't be a big deal. Yeah, this refinery is much faster. And it's nice and efficient too. It's 100% efficiency. Memory. This will be main assembler. And assembler 2 will be in cooperative mode. So now, I say make 100 steel plates. Now both assemblers are making it. So main assembler is making it and assembler 2 is making it. We now have 100 steel plates, and it was that quickly. So that's the benefit. Now let's get. So now we have 2 cargo containers. Now let's get these guys all done. Alright, so that should be all of the tanks. So every tank on the ship is now selected when I do tank. Just gonna double check. Yep, that's all good. So we can do show in terminal off, and let's just do stockpile off, stockpile on. So now all of the tanks should be on stockpile. There we go. So we now have a lot more tanks. So I should be able to go. Boom. Oh, I never had the game's frozen. I never had the battery. I'm just gonna quickly save just in case. But I never had the battery on recharge. Can I? There we go. Alright, how's this feel? Okay, that feels quite a bit better considering that's at 99% and hasn't dropped. Yeah, that feels quite a bit better. And I love the thruster particles. I wish the upgraded ones showed that too. That is very high bloom though. Someone turned the bloom all the way up on that. But that looks really cool. Yeah, I wish those thrusters had the same effect, but they don't. They have got the vanilla one because they're the modded thrusters. But yeah, this thing has a lot better fuel conservation. It will be interesting to see how well it does when it's full of cargo, but I feel like it probably needs a little bit more tanks because this thing's gonna burn through hydrogen when it has a bunch of cargo on there. I might change those if the thing can lift it without the upgradable ones. Then I'm probably gonna change them to normal ones because I don't know if they're cheaper, but they just look nicer. So I think the last thing I need to do is just get all of these last thrusters built up, and then we can go and fly this thing over and get some resources. I'll do the proper grouping later. For now, I just want to see if this thing works at all. How's this thing with lights? Looks pretty good. Then we can turn all the lights off. So, let's set that to fill. I need to set these to charge and fill, which I didn't do, so that's annoying. But yeah, and then we'll go and take that out. So what do we need? What do we need resource-wise? So Fe we're fine on. We're fine on iron. We have quite a bit of iron. Silicon we seem fine on as well. I don't think we'll need that anytime soon. I'm thinking that we're gonna need some nickel. Yeah, it seems like nickel is what we need. How are we on cobalt? We might want a little bit more cobalt. Let's actually put the full thing in there so we can, yeah. I think we want more nickel, cobalt, ice maybe. Yeah, definitely ice, because this thing's going to chew through it. So nickel and cobalt are right over there. So let's take the miner over there, and then we'll head out to get ice once we, do that. So how's this thing? I think this is a hydrogen miner. This should have enough power. And yeah, oh boy, this thing is zippy. Why aren't those thrusters? Are they just not rendering right? Why aren't they? Okay, they work. They're just visually not working. That's annoying. Oh my goodness, this thing is so zippy. I love it. This thing just zips around. I guess that's hydrogen for you. It's really, really strong. So, let's go and mine some nickel and cobalt. The one thing I didn't put on this thing was an ore detector, and I still haven't put those stone ejectors on, but those two things aren't. No, I do have an ore detector on here. What am I saying? So we have cobalt there and nickel right here. So let's go for the nickel first. I think we'll just go vertical. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. This thing can fly like that. So let's see how well this thing does at mining like this. I think we'll want to clear the area out though, as to not get stuck. How are we on battery life? 3 hours. Yeah, hydrogen miners do not need that much power. We probably put an excessive amount on there. We'll do one little mine, and then we'll go and mine the nickel. This thing is going to be able to hold a lot of nickel. So, we seem to be doing pretty good on hydrogen, though that might change. We need to make sure that we don't fall over, because that could be a problem. Yeah, we have a 15% on battery, and yet we're going to last 3 hours. We probably only needed like 1 or 2 small batteries. And well, it depends on the antenna. We can turn the antenna on. That decreases it to 1 hour. That's how little power those small batteries have. How little power this thing consumes. Yeah, for so far we don't have much stone on here. Yeah, this is definitely going to make this a lot easier. And this thing seems to be able to hold its own weight perfectly fine, so I don't think we need the upgraded ones. I think I just underestimate how much hydrogen can really, like, hold weight-wise. Like, how much you can really just pull. I also, how much? Yeah, so we didn't collect that much stone. Actually, we got a big chunk of it. Let's see if we can get rid of that. No, I don't think we can unless we got out of there. I'm not going to do that in the mine. That's a recipe for disaster. Let's go in third person here, so we're less likely have problems here. So let's carefully try and get this thing out. Batteries have a tendency to go boom-ski when I'm mining. Actually, everything has a tendency to go boom-ski when I'm mining. I don't know why. And the fact this thing has explosive tanks on it is really bad, considering my track record with miners. I mean, you guys haven't seen my track record with miners, but I'm telling you right now, it's bad. Real bad. If I manage to have a miner, right, and it doesn't have any sort of component explode on it before I get the new miner, that just means I haven't used the miner. That's all it means. But yeah, I want to change those bottom thrusters out for the vanilla ones and not the upgraded ones, because I like the particles on them. This thing seems to be able to, this thing seems to be able to handle fine, although no, those top thrusters are just being weird. I like the smoke particles are actually pretty neat. We need to be very careful because this thing drops like a rock. Oh my goodness. I also got thruster damage on, so maybe it wasn't a good idea parking the rover directly underneath the flames of this thing, considering hydrogen tends to burn. Right, let's turn this on charge and fill. That was 50%. I still think that we might want a little bit more tanks if we're doing further distances, but that seems pretty fine for what we need to do. So, yeah, what I'm going to do is I want to turn this connector down a little bit so we don't risk this thing going boomski. There we go. That's a little very minor change. So now we have nickel in this thing, and that's running through. Let's have a look at the refinery real quick. Yeah, I want to put the stone first, because that will be nice and quick to process. And yeah, let's just do... Okay. I don't know why they can't be deposited. There we go. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think this miner is just... I think this miner does well. So yeah, let's change these thrusters out for the vanilla thrusters, because... I prefer the look of the flames. And I think they're the same cost. They're the same thrust, so I'm assuming they're the same cost. Yeah, they seem to be the same cost, or near the same cost. If they're slightly more expensive, it doesn't matter. No, they're literally the exact same cost. I'm actually pretty happy with the miner. I mean, it's a brick, so it's not exactly the prettiest thing in the world, but... this thing never was going to be pretty. So now I want to actually get the ejectors on here because I don't want to have to deal with stone. So I think that would be pretty simple because we've got these two connections here. I'm thinking that we have ejectors running along here and sorters. So I'll do a conveyor here, a conveyor here, and then I'll do AT junctions and then some sorters. And some small connectors. So we'll add the sorter. Now we'll do the grouping, and I want to do this disconnected. So I'm just gonna do something like that, and let's fly out. And yeah, the thruster particles don't work, which is unfortunate. But anyway, so let's just select all of these thrusters, and this will be miner. Oh, I need a name for this miner, by the way. I'm just going to call it small miner. But I'm going to... but I need a proper name for this, and the rover still. But, you know. So yeah, the name's still open for all of the things. And then we'll do show block and terminal off. So that will... make that look a little nicer, and of course let's go to the batteries and we'll show on terminal off, so that's clean. Let's do the sorters. This will be small miner sorters, and yeah, so all of these will be set to stone. So all of these are set to filter stone. These will be whitelist mode. Drain all on, and then connectors, these small connectors will be set to throw out. So as you can see, it's dropping all the stone on the ground, which minor performance issues, but it shouldn't be a problem. And then I think I'll put the sorters here, and I'll do drain all on and off. But let's just go and mine some ice right now, because we don't have enough ice. Alright, let's go and fly over and get that ice in this beautiful glowy miner. Wow, this thing is so fast. Oh my goodness. This thing is like a little rocket ship. I mean, everything in this thing is the same as what's in a rocket ship, so not exactly surprising. And of course, we could just go to the ice caps if we need ice in the future. As you can see, it's dumping all the stone on the ground, which is great because we don't have to worry about it. Now let us keep this thing nice and full. And yeah, we might need a more powerful gyroscope, considering how slow that is. This thing is very heavy now. You know, it would be unfortunate if I crashed into that solar panel. Just kidding, that's not going to happen. But I did give you all anxiety then, didn't I? Because I definitely gave myself anxiety. There we go. Let's set this to charge and that to fill. But I think the tank is empty. Yep, the tank is empty. So let's go to here. Let's do this ship only, and let's just go to cargo. And then what we want to do is we want to dump all of this out. Here we go. That's nice and empty. So I think that's pretty good. We got a big old mine. Look at all the inventory stuff on there. But yeah, I think that's good. The mine is good. It seems to have enough fuel for, you know, short missions, and I mean, you know, in the future, when we get a new miner, we'll probably want to put a large tank on there rather than a billion small tanks. But yeah, this thing seems to work pretty well. The only problem is that yeah, we don't really have much ice. So what I want to do now is I want to get a oxygen tank on here, because we have I think we'll put it here because we're mining. We've got a H2O2 generator that's processing ice into hydrogen, but we're going to need O2 for the for us. We're going to need it for us so we can breathe, and if it turns all of our ice into hydrogen, then that's not exactly great, is it? So if we can get that built, then that will be very good. We should be able to grab a bunch of components, build you. What are we missing? We out of iron? No, we've got iron. It's just being lazy. Yeah, it's right now having multiple assemblies doesn't really do that much, but in the future it'll definitely be good. What we really need is speed upgrades on the current assemblers. I think that's going to be more worthwhile than having multiple assemblers. But yeah, so we now have a oxygen tank, which should be filling up with oxygen, in theory, if the O2H2 generator hasn't already run out of ice. O2H, no, it's got ice, so, but it's not making either. What? O2H2 generator, you have ice, you have power. Yeah, you're not making hydrogen or oxygen. What? You're also not making any sense. O2, H2 generator. Alright, so I'm putting both oxygen and hydrogen. Maybe the tanks just... Okay, now the tanks are filling up. Weird. I don't know why they weren't filling up before. I guess it might have just been broken, but right now they're working. So, yeah, we're getting hydrogen, we're getting oxygen. It looks like both of them are running. Both hydrogen, both O2H2 generators. I think we need to get another H2O2 generator. That would be probably optimum to get another one here. But, yeah. Anyway, so if you liked the video, hit that like button. If you like my video, subscribe. So, yeah. Bye. Oh, wait, I might actually leave orbit.